Welcome back to another Hockey Nation video with the hockey coach guru, Coach Frenchie. Today, Coach talks about Joel Edmondson traded to the Washington Capitals. This Canadiens trade of Joel Edmondson is a model they'll need to repeat this offseason. The Canadiens offseason got off to an appropriate start Saturday with the trade of defenseman Joel Edmondson to the Washington Capitals. It is appropriate because general manager Kent Hughes' offseason will largely be judged on how often he is able to do something similar this summer. Edmondson's stats with the Habs: 3 seasons, 8 goals, 24 assists, 32 points. His numbers won't remember him as an amazing Habs player, but more because of his leadership around the team and his plays during the playoffs. Unfortunately for Edmondson, his back problem limits himself to play at his highest level with the Habs in the last 2 seasons. His missed 79 games in the last 2 seasons with the Habs. Hughes had to hang on to half of Edmondson's $3.5 million salary to make the deal work and get the return he wanted: 1 third round and 1 7th round pick in next year's draft. So while $1.75 million remains on the Canadiens' books for 1 more year, the more important figure is the $1.75 million that was removed. Hughes said he had begun preliminary contract talks with the agent for Alex Newhook, another key element of his offseason. That agent is Paul Capizzano, who works for Cortex Management, Hughes' former agency. Basically, a good portion of the Newhook contract probably got paid for with this trade, but that's not nearly as important as finding ice time for the team's young defenseman. The thing about hanging on to Edmondson to trade him as a rental at the trade deadline is it would run the risk that his back issues flare up again as they did last season, but it would also mean he would have to play to show his trade value. The Canadiens could, and likely will regardless, move Hayden Gould to the right side for a year, but with Edmondson around, that would have meant putting Arbor Hekaj and Jordan Harris in a platoon situation on the left side of the third pairing. The Canadiens couldn't have that. In terms of his ice time being given to our young defenseman, that's the plan, Hughes said. Now it's a matter of seeing if Hughes can pull off something similar with 1 or ideally 2 of his veteran forwards to create room in the lineup. We've had conversations with teams leading up to the draft and leading up to free agency. We'll continue to have conversations, Hughes said. They're aware with the number of forwards that we have under contract that we're open to moving certain players, so we'll see where it takes us. Hughes' willingness to eat half of the final year of Edmondson's contract should be seen as proof of his willingness to do the same with the final year of Mike Hoffman's contract. The question is finding a market for Hoffman. A team looking at him for $2.25 million would know exactly what they were getting. In 2 seasons with the Canadiens, Hoffman has played 67 games in each season and has produced nearly identical numbers: 15 goals and 35 points in 2021 to 22, 14 goals and 34 points last season. Only 5 of those 29 goals came on the power play, which is usually a good sign that a player's production is not reliant on the power play, but in Hoffman's case, it makes him a far less attractive trade target. The Canadiens will need to bank on a team willing to take on some risk that Hoffman can find that again, just as the Capitals took on some risk that Edmondson will be able to remain healthy and play as well as he did in the 2021 playoffs. Hughes needs to find a team with similar circumstances for Hoffman. A healthy Canadiens roster has too many forwards, so many that someone like Emil Heineman can't even dream of starting the season in Montreal if nothing changes. And that's not a good situation for where the Canadiens are, because they benefit far more from Heineman making mistakes than they do Hoffman. This is the next homework to do for Hughes now. Trade Hoffman in the next few weeks. We would like to hear from you about that trade between the Capitals and Canadiens. Do you think this is a great move from Kent Hughes? Thanks to watching this video, and don't forget to click on the like and subscribe to the channel and leave us a comment about this video. Until the next time, remember, you have greatness inside of you, and we wishes you an amazing, great, and blessing day, my friend.